All right, so we're going to go through the forwards contract example in ProcessMaker today. And before we run through the actual process itself, to explain ProcessMaker as a platform, what we do for the banking industry is we help you as a bank understand who is doing what, when they're doing it, and what exactly they're doing. And this is beneficial for a number of reasons, for audit purposes, really just for organizational means. So you can see here for the contracts that the traders completed, they have a list view of everything that's going on. We have dashboards that we can build. Everything's customizable. So if you wanted to adjust the dashboards, maybe you have kind of a cyclical cycle of different workflows that you go through. Maybe at the beginning of the quarter, it's more cereals based, coffee, barley that the traders are working on, and then towards the end of the quarter, maybe it's different types of loans that you're doing. So you can adjust the dashboard as needed. You can also put the most important workflows here in the front. So you can see here that there is an Add New Contract button. I'll go ahead and click on it, and we'll go through this example here. And by customizing the dashboard, really you give the most important information to your users or your traders in this case when they need it. And so this helps with organizational efficiency, making sure everybody's doing what they need quickly and having the information that they need to make decisions quickly as well. So what I'll do is the traders, I'll go ahead and click on the task. And with ProcessMaker, there's two pieces of kind of information or ways to collect information or send information. The first is with forms. This is what you're seeing here. So what the forms do is they allow us to collect information from users. So it could be internal employees, it could be external customers, it could be vendors that you're working with. So these forms allow us to collect the necessary information that normally you would do in a Word document. You might have a more automated way to do that through a form builder that you have, or maybe even just email. But what ProcessMaker allows you to do is collect that information and centralize it and then build reporting off of it. So I'm going to go ahead and fill out this form. And you'll see that with ProcessMaker, it's very similar to Excel in the way that we can take these fields and perform calculations on them. So for us, it's not just collecting the information, but doing what we need to with it. So I'll go ahead and finalize this. So it's also really flexible, and we can put this form together in a matter of minutes, as opposed to having a development team code the HTML, the CSS, all of the code behind it. And so somebody like, maybe not necessarily the trader, but from your product team can do it as opposed to the engineering team. So I'll go ahead and fill this out. And what we're going to do is we're going to put the customer's email in here. And so if you remember, there's two ways to collect and send information. One is through forms, and the other is through our APIs, our application programming interface. And with the API, we're able to send the data to the appropriate systems at the right time. So when I click submit here, what we're going to do is we're going to send, or what ProcessMaker is going to do is send the information to DocuSign. And once DocuSign accepts the information, it's going to shoot out an email to the customer. And so you don't need the trader or the operations team to fill out the Word document and then upload it into DocuSign and then send it out to the customer. All of that happens automatically. So we're reducing that busy work and reducing that load on your team as far as passing the information to the right people or systems at the right time. So if I jump over to my email and come to this DocuSign, you'll see that we have an email that was sent out by DocuSign. And if we jump into the email or into the DocuSign document, you see that the information that we'd filled out is now pre-filled on the form, and we can enter some information and then sign from there. And once we finish it, the information is going to be stored in ProcessMaker, and you have multiple traders on your team. And one of the other benefits of ProcessMaker is it's going to standardize this process for all of the traders. And then it's also going to take the information that all of them are generating and allow us to view it in one central repository. So maybe the manager of that team wants to see what's happening on a day-to-day or a weekly basis. So just like we built charts for each of the individual traders to see their trades, their contracts, their performance, we can also do that for the management team, where we can take all of the information and bring it together, coalesce it into one dashboard, one portal. So you can see gross revenues by all customers. And if you wanted to, you could list out each of the traders too. So this is Luis Silva, one of the traders, and his specific information. So you can see his 3 customers, how they also exist on the team or the management dashboard as well. And then if we wanted to filter his out, we could just click these away and see kind of what it looks like for the rest of the team. So it's very easy to slice and dice your data to get the right data to make the right decisions within your organization. And not only that, one of the benefits of ProcessMaker is we automate all workflows, and we do it very easy and simply as far as putting the workflow together with connecting each of the screens that's going to collect the information from end users and passing it to the right people or the right systems at the right time. So it's very easy for us to put a new workflow together. And then each of those workflows that you have within your organization can be centralized within ProcessMaker. So instead of having multiple point solutions with systems like DocuSign, and maybe you have a document management system, and maybe you have another tool like CRK for your trades. And so ProcessMaker allows you to build new workflows without having to go buy a new software. You just build it within ProcessMaker. And you can see here, if you needed to build a purchase order system or an onboarding, an employee onboarding or a vendor onboarding type of process, you can do that within ProcessMaker and have the workflow automated, and then the data easily analyzed within our system with these dashboards, which are customizable. So it allows your organization to expand and scale up your operations without having to hire, tens or hundreds of people for the same job. And at the same time, instead of increasing your spend on technological services, with ProcessMaker, you have everything that you need right at your fingertips. And then one last thing that I'll show you, and that kind of illustrates that point, is this is the same contract that you saw before. And the difference here is we're going to go through the process and have the customer sign and complete the contract without DocuSign. So it's all going to be within ProcessMaker. So I have this filled out, this contract filled out already. So we'll go to this next step, and maybe Pedro Silva, that's going to be signing this time. So I'll send it to myself again so that we can see what it looks like. So again, this is going to come from ProcessMaker instead of DocuSign for the final step. So if I come back here, you see that our DocuSign completed contract came through. And then if I go to my examples, this is an email from ProcessMaker. This is what the customer would get, is this form. And all the information is filled out and read only. And then they're able to sign. And so we'll go ahead and save the signature, and we'll submit the form. So they give their signature, they submit their form, and then coming back to ProcessMaker to show you how that data is stored and collected on our end. If I come to all requests and I look at this this workflow, the Boleta Termo that we just completed, we see the data that was generated. And if I come to the file manager, you see the contract that was just signed. And it has some information. Of course, we could add additional things here in this PDF, but it has the signature that the customer gave. So very similar to DocuSign, but we didn't need to use their external service. So another, I guess, cost savings, and from an efficiency standpoint, your team doesn't even need to interact with systems like DocuSign, both from the business side, so your traders, and then also from the technology side. One less system that you need to maintain, one less vendor relationship that you need to worry about. And then within our document management system in ProcessMaker, we have the ability to view the files. You can also comment on them. So if I wanted to share with somebody within the organization, I could give them, just a notification that, hey, I need your thoughts on this. I could go ahead and send that. You'll notice now that the comment comes through. Since I sent it to myself, you can imagine someone else within the organization would get this notification, and they would be able to come in and view the document and comment on it as necessary. And again, if you needed to share it with somebody else within the organization, you can do that. So it makes it very easy to collaborate, not only on workflows, but on, say, these documents themselves that may need multiple parties to input their information or their view on it. So hopefully that gives you kind of a rounded view of what ProcessMaker can do as far as the functionality and the value that it will provide your organization as far as efficiency, standardization, and really just overall end user experience goes in completing your day-to-day tasks.